everybody. Welcome to Spiritual Awakening TV. I'm your host, Grace, and today we're going to be talking about spirituality. And for me, there's nothing better in the world I'd rather talk about than spirituality. And today we have Fenol here joining us live on our Instagram page. Today we're going to discuss all the details about his books, about his life, and about how he could suggest some other fundamental how we could be able to adjust our life as well. So getting started, Fenol the Great, that's the name he goes with, is here today to join us from Ottawa. Is that where you're based, correct?
At the moment, yes.
Okay. So Fenol the Great is in Ottawa currently, and he's joining us live today on the Spiritual Talk. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, including two of his wonderful books that he has. And what is the meaning of spiritual awaken to you? Let's start off there.
Especially to people who are experiencing hardship, life drama, or
Right.
of psychological pain, emotional suffering.
Okay.
It means everything. It means freedom. The way to freedom. Yes.
How do you know when you have a spiritual awakening?
How do you know? It's gone. He left. He will leave your body. He will leave your brain.
So the suffering disappear.
Means that the ego is dead.
Some of the points you mentioned about your book that focus on how to plan your life, correct?
Yes, yes.
So my question is, how can one plan their life in a spirituality perspective?
Well, first you have to realize that there are things that need to be fixed within the body or within your surroundings. For example, are you experiencing any type of anger? Are you experiencing any type of jealousy, unease? So maybe you might start planning a way to deal with those. If you're aware you have them. Some people are not aware they have them. Because that entity, for example, like anger, is controlling the body and the brain. So the anger is talking to you when they speak. So when you come to this realization, oh, wait a minute, I am angry. Then you can make a plan to tackle that and how you're going to ease the brain, how you're going to ease the mind so you can reach that state of peace, Yeah.
So that's some of the process in your book, how one can plan their life is through the awareness of getting to understand if they're angry or if they're sad, to be able to remove that, or what
That's
exactly?
right. That's right. The steps you can take to remove the realization is the key.
The realization is the key. Yes, absolutely. Because if you don't know something, then you can really target it and be able to solve the problem, right?
That's right.
That's correct. Okay. So here, I know you mentioned in your book that you have struggled a lot and you have overcome some of your struggling out of property and out of stress, depressions, and anxiety and stuff like that. How can you give us some advice? How can one be able to plan their life to get out of property, for example, and stress or depression?
Well, first we have to realize the root of it. Whether it's poverty, stress, anxiety, depression, those entities, they're from outside. They're not from within you. They were formed from the things you see, from what you hear, from what you touch, from your experiences. Let's call them perspectives. So once you realize that those entities are from outside and now they possess the body, now you can do something with it.
But let's say if you're like stuck in like, low income neighborhood for your whole life, you grew up there and the job you do are endless and
Mm-hmm.
it's like at the end of it just doesn't you're living paycheck to paycheck and
Mm-hmm.
there you don't see past the tunnel or past anything else. How can you change your mind about your living situations or your work or the area you live at? How can one person take their mind out of that and be able to transition their life?
First, you have to quiet the mind. That's why you have to cleanse. You have to fast.
Hmm.
You have to empty the body of all those energies because like most people know, everything is energy. But when they come, now you have to remove them.
Hmm.
Yeah. So once you remove them, you're able to think clearer. You're able to be more creative, more present. So out of presence, you have eternal creativity. So you can find a way to create a new business, a new product or something, or to serve more people.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, so how do you see the world we're living in being less property, less anxiety, stress, less people coming out of this? How do you see the world changing itself from the way it is designed, the way it's currently operating to a new Earth sort of evolutionary?
Well, it will be more peaceful.
Hmm.
Yes, for sure. It is happening right now actually. Most people are waking up,
Hmm.
but the job is not happening outside. We cannot see with our own naked eyes, you know. It's happening within the people.
Hmm.
Yes, and it's the most beautiful thing ever. Is to have a world that lives in harmony and balance,
Okay.
oneness.
Tell us how it is it feel like to be a spiritual entrepreneur. Like how many like how do you deal with people who are difficult? Because I know business involve a lot of difficulties,
Mhm.
and being an entrepreneur and spiritually, it's sometimes it's pretty hard to maintain both.
Hmm. Well, first, we have to realize that I'm not in business for myself. I'm in the business for the people.
Hmm.
So when they come to you, you have to be able to analyze the situations, the state
Hmm.
of being, and
Hmm.
what kind of entities they're carrying inside. And you'll be able to talk to them, do business
Hmm.
with them. That's spiritual business. Yeah.
Okay. What did you do to become a conscious entrepreneur?
What
Uh-huh.
So once you realize who you really are beyond forms, beyond things, possessions, then you'll be able to call yourself a conscious entrepreneur because you're in the business with the people.
Hmm.
Yeah. So and not only that you're in the business with the people, you're also doing things that are conscious.
Hmm.
For example, let's say you want to start a new company, a new organization, and you want to sell clothes, right?
Hmm.
Well, what type of clothes are you going to sell?
It's
Are you going to sell clothes that are going to ruin the planet? Or are you going to sell clothes that are going to help the planet heal?
something that's going to help the planet. Yes.
Yes, and the people also.
Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned in your book about the 7 steps of how to get ahead in your life.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the 7 step, your 7 step on how to get ahead in life when you just started out?
Of course, the first thing is self-realization. Until you realize who you really are, well, life will always be a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. The second step is to take action after you realize who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Take action towards creating something meaningful, something useful. And then once you do that, you have to share with people
Mm-hmm.
what you have learned, what you have gained, everything. And during the process, you also need mentorship because, listen, most people, they're taught to go to school or they go by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
No support, no guidance. Well, most humans need a little bit of help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in order to go forward. And after that, you have to leave behind a legacy. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
build a legacy, build something. And once you do that, then you leave this place, you're happy.
Conversation.
Hmm.
Number two,
Action,
action. Number three,
well, learning, practicing,
learning. Number four,
coaching, get some help
getting coaching. Number
if needed.
five,
Yes, build something meaningful.
build something in between it.
Yeah, like a like
Number
a
six,
like, like a business, like a project or something.
okay. Number
Mm.
six is
Yes, number 6 is to share what you have learned.
share what you learn with society. Number seven,
Number 7 is to live this place happily ever after.
amazing. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Those are some really tough and useful sources we could be able to all turn into when we need some support to get ahead in life, of course. And
of
it's
course.
actually seems like it have helped you along the way. So I hope it will help our listeners as well. Your books, the two books, which one of the books talks more about spirituality?
So it will be number 2.
The one that How to Plan?
No, the other one. Living beyond my wildest dreams.
Living Beyond My Wildest Dream. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was the second. If you're watching this, you will find Living Beyond Your Wildest Dreams and How to Plan Your Life and
Yes.
Business.
Mm-hmm.
And both you will find them in Chapters, Indigos, and any bookstores that is currently available to purchase in,
That's
right?
right. Or on my site, finalthegreat.com.
What advice would you give the audience about how to live like heaven on earth?
Removing the emotional buildups that are blocking you from extending beyond your wildest dreams.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing you would recommend, so advise anyone on is to realize themselves,
Yes.
the who I am part.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to
With
know.
who I am, everything follows. Mhm.
Yes, that's true. When I follow you on social media quite a bit. You
Yes.
said a few things, and there's some of the things that you said, like when you said stop abusing Holy Temple. What do you mean by that?
Great.
Do you mean as in a body of a person, or do you just mean
Well,
what?
the Holy Temple means a lot too, It's not just the body. For example,
Right,
a tree is holy. Why cut it down if you don't need it?
right.
So the physical is the temple of the I am holy, the
Hmm.
spirit. All physical things. Within all physical things, you have the presence of the spirit. I am.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, for example, if someone is using the body as a way to, I'm not going to say someone, let's say if the mental conditioning is using the body as a way to seek pleasure on its own, I call this abusing the temple. Stop doing that. It
Okay,
should be done
absolutely.
naturally, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Hmm.
Um, what does being enlightened mean to you?
Well, we're all enlightened.
Well, all enlightened, okay.
Yes, it's just that
But
some
to
of
you, what
us,
does it
eh?
mean?
It's just that some of us went through certain things that are blocking chakras from experiencing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I call those portals or path. They are blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
So
then they open up, I guess, I hope.
they're wide open, as vast as the
Amazing.
universe or the cosmos.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
What or who or it, what is God to you?
Well, first images are created by the brain, by one of the five senses.
So one of your five senses create the first image of God, okay?
Hmm. And who create the five senses? I am
I
God.
am, okay.
Yes. So we're all God, yes. God is in all of us. It's just that some people have not yet realized it, which means this is why it's so important to realize who you really are. Once you realize who you really are, you will realize that everything you do, every action you take comes from within you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about you. Everything is you. Who think the thoughts? Yes, the ego might do that sometimes. But who created the body? Who created the seeing? Who's listening? Who's watching us right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's helping the people? Who's loving the people? Who's been kind? Who has been compassionate? Who's been creative? It's all you. It's all us.
So when people look outside of themselves for God, what does that mean exactly? Is that mean is it
There's the
just seeking
ego.
for emptiness?
There's the ego, yes.
The ego want to see some image.
Or some experiences. So,
You mentioned in your Facebook there said, why do you think life is fake or is an illusion?
in the realm of I, spirit, there's nothing. At the same time, there's everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, to say that this is an illusion is to say that I am vibrating at the state of nothingness, emptiness, the nothingness, the purest form of all forms, yet
Mm-hmm.
which is no form,
Mm-hmm.
the highest state of consciousness, let's call it like that, pure state of
Mm-hmm.
consciousness, infinite consciousness.
Right.
Yes, people call it infinity, but yet it's nothing really. It's just a play. This what we're doing right now, like a
It's a
movie.
play. Next question is now we're going to bring you to our Facebook question from our viewers that they
Yes,
have asked. We have a few
yes,
questions here.
yes.
One question is what is the purpose of life?
You are the purpose of life.
You are the purpose of life.
Yes, to realize who you are. And then use that to help others, to help carry the world. That is the real purpose of life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard some people say the life purpose is to the purpose of life is to experience life to a maximum. Is that
Well, that sounds like someone who wants to have a party.
well, not really a party because if we're here on Earth, that's to experience life. Would it make
Of
sense
course. Oh,
to the purpose of this life here on Earth to experience life and so to learn as much and
and then die.
then die?
Some people say they want to learn everything. They want to have fun. They want to have a good time. They want to enjoy their family before they're gone.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, here's the funny thing, okay? Once you realize who you are, focus on that. Once you realize that state of presence, that I am
Mhm.
the truth, I am the answers that I've been seeking, or I am seeking, right? Once
Mhm.
you realize that, you'll have the most fun of your life. You won't need to party much anymore because the parties are happening within you. You won't have to seek pleasures and random activities or random events because all the pleasures are within you.
Mhm.
Meaning bliss, ease, peace. These things are not, the things people are seeking to find into the world, like it's impossible to replace that because it is coming from the source of you. You are the source of everything.
A follow-up question is, what does heaven look like?
Like you,
Maybe this
beautiful.
person is not aware of heaven is a state of being.
Yes, beautiful, like us.
So heaven is a state of being. What does heaven look like? Heaven look like
Peace.
peace. Exactly. Heaven look like peace. Absolutely. That's the best way to describe heaven look
Yes.
like peace. Now, when people, it makes it very hard for some people to believe that because when you're in religion's mindset, we
Mm.
think heaven is a separate place. Than what we think heaven is as a state of being. Sorry.
Yes. So what is the being? Being means you. I am here. I am here. I have no problems. Yes, regardless, there are a lot of things going on in my life, but I am at peace. That's heaven. Yes.
Hmm.
Now,
Okay.
how do we go from believing to being? That should be the question. Believing is ego, thinking. You're thinking about something that you have not yet experienced. But experiencing the inner being is something else. That's why it's very hard for most people to understand, to realize that they are in heaven already.
So what you're saying is that when you're experiencing this state of being, that's when you're in heaven or in your hell.
Yes, because who am I? I am the creator of heaven.
Amazing.
Yes.
So that goes for the answer for some of our viewers that ask us questions. Our following question from Facebook today is someone always with us? Is someone always with me, or is there a higher power? That's the question. Is there a higher power that is with us, or is someone always with us?
That someone is you, the real you. And that higher power is the real you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you silence the fake you, let's call it the brain that you got it from this world to seeing and thinking, all that, then you realize that you are the higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Amazing.
Yes.
Now, because we already talked about having calling the creator as God out of as a different entity or a different person or things,
Hmm.
this brings us down to our last question from our online here.
Yes.
Um, about the Bible.
The Bible.
What is your to go for book? Do you consider any of the spiritual book your book to go to find God's information, so to find source energy information?
People might be surprised how they can find God. You can find God simply by hitting your toe on a rock. Because the pain might wake you up.
Okay, let's get to something really interesting. Do you believe in aliens?
I'm all aliens.
Okay, so you believe that there is extraterrestrial out there or no?
All right, first of all, the universe
Mhm.
is infinite, okay? The cosmos is infinite. Who knows what's out there? This is coming down to the level of aliens and what's might be out there. You see the Earth is about that size. Of course, there are more than 10 billion moons out there. Who knows? But I know that I know that I am within all. I'm creating everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Trying to believe or imagining, bring our attention to this present moment within us.
Now, for
Mhm.
the spiritual realms, how do you access the spiritual realms? Because some people constantly saying the gateway is open, or the spiritual realm is this, or the portal is open. In the spiritual community,
Mm.
how many time do you access the portal and stuff like that? And how do you access? How does one access the portal?
Whoever is listening to me right now, in this present moment, right now, this is a portal. Listening to me with all your attention, with all your presence, looking at us with all your presence. This is a portal.
So, what do you explain? What is a portal is?
Well, the portal is to bring yourself to a state of stillness so you can pay attention.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There are many portals.
So when they say portal of information is open, the portal is open right now during meditation. Does that mean someone has opened a portal of information that people could be able to access spiritually?
Yes. Well, there are many things that happen when you meditate, right? The first thing is that your body becomes more at ease. Your cells are more at peace. Your brain, the thinking mind, is more quiet. So you're able to listen better. You're able to feel better. So
Mm,
the more you meditate, the more at peace you are, the higher you go in consciousness.
right.
Yes. Speaking, for example, is a great tool to use as a way to take yourself to the next level.
Speaking in just a sense of speaking or asking questions.
Both.
What practice do you do to keep your spirituality on intact?
I'm using the body to speak to you. Yeah. How did I cleanse this? How did I empty it?
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of things to do that. I did.
Right,
I read a lot of books. Yes. I also went to a lot of seminars and workshops,
right.
and I serve the homeless, the people. I do a lot of loving, sharing, forgiving. Actually, forgiveness is the greatest, one of the greatest tool to use.
Forgiveness.
Yes,
Okay.
and practicing inner peace. Give your time, give yourself time, give your body time to heal. Don't push it, don't pressure it.
Okay.
Yes, patience, courage. Have a lot of courage.
So what spiritual practice do you do? Do you have any practice? Do you do mediumship? Do you do channeling? Do you do healing? Do you do anything? Meditation?
Well, not anymore, as I said before, right? But it depends on the state of the body. For example, your conditioning might not be the conditioning of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
People are conditioned differently.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, it's the heart chakra that need to be worked on the most. Some people, it's the third eye chakra, meaning they need to silence the brain more, open the throat chakra. It depends. It depends on the conditioning of the body, what state the body is in. Are you eating healthy? Are you drinking your herbal teas? Are you always at peace?
Mm.
Can you feel the breeze outside? Can you hear the birds?
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question for you. How can one raise their consciousness through what practice? Meditation, or do you prefer, is there a certain food that they need to eat or stuff like that?
Yes, people are always looking for something to raise the vibration. You don't have to do all that, really. You just have to become aware that the body has been conditioned and then work on that. And the body will tell you what you need to do because the pain, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of signals that the body will send to you to tell you, hey, you need to chill, you need to calm down. And those are anxiety, depression, envy, greed, jealousy, um, depression, oppression, whatever it is. Those are signs that are calling you to take control again.